It's been a minute. Oh well, some minutes are longer than others, aren't they, really? Anywho, you can tell by my attire, it's fecking cold, which means winter. Actually, Christmas is coming. And this is why I'm doing this, really. I've got to make a thing, and I'm going to make the thing and film it. I've made plenty of other things and not filmed it before because I thought, why bother? Nobody watches, but who cares, man? Got to show an effort, haven't you? Got to lift a finger. So I'm filming this one. It's a frame. It's for my daughter, and it's going to have pictures of her and her son, Remy, my wonderful grandson, and it's going to be made out of this stuff. Yeah, this is all offcuts of hardwood, door liner and stuff like that. It's too small to use, and I just keep it like I've got a bucket here. That's all hardwood shite. And what I'm going to do with this, see, this is all, you've got a load of end grainy business going on there, which I quite like once it's all tidied up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut slices. I was rudely interrupted by some camera jiggery pokery, but it's fixed. As I was saying, going to get these things and slice them lots and lots and lots of times. Lots and lots of times. So we will have lots of slices of that. Or that. Or that. Or whatever this thing is. But before I get to the slicing, I gotta get to the smoothing. And what is the smoothing? Look, levels are, well, not level. It's not all there. It's got to be flattened out, and we need a few 90 degrees and all that business, which means a planer. The planer needs to be brought out into this place here. In fact, that planer there will make a noise, make some mess, and these little boys and girls will be a bit tidier. I haven't made a video for a while, but I'm still a dick, aren't I? Anyway, onwards and upwards. It was like that, all lumpy bumpy, and now it's like that, all smoothy. Ho ho ho! Smooth face, ugly face, and I've also made, well, I'll get this right, Jeff, come on, here we are. Nice little 9 degrees. Yay! That makes it more cooperative. So I'm going to do that sort of thing to all of those other things to make them more like this new fresh thing. Ooh, we've gone from mucky to less mucky. Nice smooth edges. Ooh. Ooh. That makes them slightly less bothersome to work with. Right, now we're going to do the slicey with a slicey machine. I best get the slicey machine. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't show footage of me doing all of them, planing all of them and speed it up or whatever, as I normally do, you see, I come to realise I shouldn't offend the attention span of the viewer, you see. I know your finger's hovering over the fast forward bit. You want to skip and get to the next point. I know, I get it. So let's go on to the next one. Yep, that's a slicey machine. And it's called a slicey machine because you can make slices out of it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, by the way, I set a little stop block up to get the thickness that I want, so every single one will be the same thickness, because you just... Come on, Jeff. Come on now, you can do this. One-handed git. Right, try again, eh? There you go. Push it to the stop block there. That's my cut line there. So each one will be exactly the same. Christ. It's like magic, isn't it? No, it's called thinking. So I've cut it down to about this much. I don't have much finger room left, but I'll save it just in case I need a little bit. Now that little escapade has got me a bucket of these. See? And grainy sort of style. Little gap there, don't matter. There's stuff to happen, isn't there? There's things that's going on past this juncture. So that's just that one piece. I've got to do all them as well, but before I do that, I need to push the put a little booster out here, because the pieces are too close to the fence and the curvature of the blade is just slightly not cutting all the way through. And I'm talking about a few mil, but it can cause a split, you know, and also slows you down. So I'm going to boost that out a little bit. That's obviously going to stay the same, just thicken it a little bit. Just make life easier, eh? You've got to make yourself life easier. Make life easier, but don't be dumb. A bit like that. This allows the blade a bit more travel, a bit more cutting through, so it go way past the edge of the piece of wood I'm cutting. Easier. Yeah, that'll do for now. Well, I'll carry on with this. Should I film it? Should I? Is that finger over the skip button yet? Have you calmed it down? Should I take a risk? That block work out's a treat. A lot smoother. Just pick it up. There's no bitty itty bitty holding on stuff. Yep, so escapade number 2 has given me a whole load of these. And I've got that bit left over. Hand got a bit close to the blade. I calmed down a bit. God, I'm getting soft in my old age. What's going on? Anyway, I've got that load to do. So I'll see you when I've done that. Because I know, it's hard going. It's so hard. No, nowhere near enough. I need more. So anyway, I've got this. Another hardwood block up. I tend to just glue them together for no reason really, and I had this stacked away. But the difference with this one is that bit there, see? Bit of softwood glued in there, and for this, what I'm making now, I don't want that. I want everything to have a sort of similar hue, hardwood hue. I don't want that bright thing sticking out like a sore thumb. So I'm going to have to get rid of that. But as with the others, I've got to get the planer and square it up and tidy it up and everything else. So this section here, this offending article, I'll just plane that right off. Just get rid of it. Let's do that. That got rid of that. Looks alright, doesn't it? Sort of sexed it up a bit. And got rid of that pine. I didn't want to get involved because that's not necessary for this one. Right, I'm going to get it on the slicer. Slice it up like the others. Onto the slicer. Not bad. I'm glad I did that because it's gave me another, I think, 28 pieces, and there's still a chunk there. So I've got those 28 pieces. I've got those whatever amount of pieces. I think I'm almost there. It's a gnat's whisker away. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to make any more blocks. I'm going to clear up this monstrosity of a let's clear up the evidence, the crime scene, and then I'm going to we'll cut the templates out. What template do you need for a frame, Jeff? Oh, you'll see. You've probably seen it before anyway. All right, tidy. Well, that's that tidied up. Now we're going to have to use this thing. Why? Well, for obvious reasons. We got crappy edges, look. These need tidying up all the way around. And a little on the face and the back as well. I'm going to have to do all that lot. So if I'm going to show you me doing all that lot, I'm going to have to really speed it up because I really don't want to, stretch people's attention spans. Offence is not meant. I can do it anyway. Got a casualty. Glue. Yeah, so I've sanded the edges and the faces of these. It's not the last sanding they're going to get, but it's the first. Makes them a lot easier to work with. I still don't think I've got enough though. Doesn't matter, I have to make more if they make more, you know. Right, I've got these itty bitty things, but now I need the big thing, which is the template, which is going to come from piece of plywood right over there. Oh, look at the stripy lights. Too big to be called an offcut, but I found it in a skip, so it's a skip cut, and that'll do for me. We're going to make a template out of that. And that's a good start. Yeah. So these are my widest pieces out of all the ones I've done. So I want my edges to be around that wide. Now they're not perfectly, because they're a bit organically. So I'm going to have a little bit of a measure, pick a measure that fits the best, and we'll go with that one. What's this? What's this one here? Let's have a look. So they're 8 by 8.5, so just over 7.5 will give us room for wiggle and wiggle, and wiggle we must. Pretty hard to see the pencil lines under the lights, but they are there, and I'm going to be doing this with those pencil lines. Cut. All the way. So this piece will go, and these edges will stay. They will be my template to fix all the other nice things too. Right. And that's the template for the frame. So the fun bit begins. Well, it's all fun really, but a bit different fun. Yep. So with the larger pieces, I have enough for, well, there's 4 sides, so everything's got to be divided by 4. I have enough for 8 on each side, each corner, 8 on each corner. So let's have a little play around and see how that works, because I can stick these all down first, then the smaller pieces can fit in the bits. Well, maybe I have got enough, maybe. Whew. Oh, by the way, that is a bit of me. Yeah, it is. It could be a plan, something like that. As long as I have this line here in different directions. Oh, a bit too close, that one. I'll have to be aware of that one. As long as I mix and match that, because that's the only thing that they really have in common, because it sticks out a little bit, which is why I didn't want that pine thing, remember all those yeah, moments ago. Okay, so I'll glue them and do that sort of thing on all 4 corners, and then I'll see where we stand, huh? Yeah. As I'm gluing these down, I've just got one thing to keep an eye on, and this is the interior edge, because I want to keep to that, because I'm going to be doing a thing that involves that afterwards. Now the outside edge, doesn't matter, I'm going to trim that afterwards, but the inside edge, because it's the inside edge, it's harder to work on because of the inside corners. Yeah, that does make sense to me. Actually like that. That's okay, that's sort of what I've got in the head. You know, the nogging is starting to come out into the world a little bit, which is always good. So I'm going to continue that sort of thing. I'm not going to do the same, oh well, see how that goes, on each corner. And man, I've got more than enough. Aye. Well, call me surprised, call me bamboozled, call me, well, all those are surprise things, because look, out of that one pile, I've almost done the whole frame, and there's me thinking, oh, I haven't got enough. All that lot left over. Well, I could have saved myself a lot of work, but now that just means I'm going to have to make more, aren't I? Yeah, I have to make more. So now I've got 4 of those little bits to find out of amongst all those. They're not fully 90 degrees, they're not going to fit well, so I'm going to have to do a little slicey, perhaps a little sandy, a little fitty in there, but it'll happen, and it's going to happen now. That's how many I had left over. I had that much left over, and I was still thinking I didn't have enough to do that little frame thing. I mean, man, come on. Anyway, I've stuck them all down onto a board, because I've had an idea about doing this before. At the moment I'm doing like this template thing and I'm gluing around the template. I could just glue them all onto one board and then just cut the pieces out as I need. Sounds a bit confusing, that, but I've had it made for a while. So this is an experiment. This is not to do with what the frame that I'm making now, this is for something later, but that's what happens when things happen. I suddenly had leftovers. So you just try something else, don't you? At least I do. Any excuse. Right, glue's got to dry, that glue's going to dry, we'll come back to it tomorrow. So it's another day. It's another day, so we continue. What's to happen, Jeff? We need to put in the 4 remaining pieces. Now, the spaces are not quite the same shape as the pieces, so therefore we need to make these the same. And what I'm going to do, put them in position, draw a line where this needs that piece to be, cut it out, remove it, we're in. That is basically how it's going to be. But then actions speak louder than words. Yep, that's the plan. Obviously that's going to be glued in. Yeah, and I just need to do that 3 more times. That's all the 4 pieces done. Now the next job, we're to do the inlay. That is the inside edge. First job will be to cut it all flush, and then the next will be to let me get my fingers right, to add a small piece along here flush with the face. But not flush with the back, because that will give us a rebate. All frames need a rebate to sit everything in. That will create our rebate. Have I got a piece here? With something similar to this, along sort of like that, and then giving us the rebate at the back. And then once that sort of one's done, I will then trim the outside edge and give it a trim along the outside, but this outside will also cover the ply as well. No rebate needed on the outside. But once again, I am restricted by the speed that the boiled down horse's paste dries at. So I have to wait till then. Okie doke, I'm going to clean up the outside edges, then I can make a good measurement for what I need to put around there. All I've done is put up an edge at the right measurement away from the outside edge of the frame. And then I'll run this thing up along it, and that should be alright. If it's not, we've got a different shaped frame. Yeah, hey, hey. Gotta change that, don't I? Else nothing's gonna get cut. Had to remind myself, this is the back of the frame. A few little screw holes ain't gonna make any difference, and the saw can pass over that, geen probleem. Yeah, now I've got to do that on all the outside edges. I know another one to go. Yeah, that worked out alright. I was worried about it snagging on the ply, which would mess up the squareness of the frame. But a little sliver, but it's all equal from top to bottom, which means it'll still keep square. I tell myself these things. I don't know why I still believe my own nonsense, but I keep telling myself these things. You know, it's like being cuddled. It's a comfort. Got a little casualty, but that doesn't matter. But guess what? I've got to find this little casualty in amongst that bedraggled bunch of stuff. But that doesn't matter. Hey, let's wipe your nose. I'm happy with that. It's got started to have a uniform structure. Now I've got to do the same on the inside, which is not as easy because you haven't got access like the outside edges, but it's still not a problem. I could do that in 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different ways. What I'm going to do first is find that casualty, put it to one side, then do some measurements for my trim. Yes, my trim. That'll have to do. It's not the exact piece, but it'll have to do. I'll glue it in right at the end of the day so it can dry overnight, and then tomorrow just leave a little cut to make it go with the rest. Right, let's measure up and see what I need to do for these edges. Now these edges, I've got some of this off cut, not big enough to do a door anymore, and I can basically cut it in half. Now, to find out these edges, I could be fancy about it. I could be more traditional about it, or I could be more Jeff about it and just, which is most likely what I'll do. Right, now we have to prepare the Smith 2000. Now what is the Smith 2000? Well, all you fellas and girls with your big old table saws of all those famous names, they're fine, but they will never come close to the Smith 2000. The Smith 2000 cuts like a beast, and it's exactly where you want to put it, and when you finish with it you can make it vanish, and then you can make it reappear again. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Smith 2000. Let me introduce you. Yep, this is it. This is the Smith 2000, the best table saw I've ever, well, I didn't even know I needed one so good, but I did. I got it so good. It runs at about 37 gerbil power, which is about as much as I need. And it's got a wicked fence. I mean, look at that. That fence is going nowhere. Now then, what's it set up to do? So these is my offcuts. They're about 5.5-ish centimetres wide. Now this fence I've got set up to 3.5 centimetres wide, which will give me one piece 3.5 centimetres and the other piece will be whatever it is. Now the 3.5 centimetres is for the edge of the frame. The edge of the frame is 3 centimetres wide. Give myself 0.5 centimetre, including the curve of the blade. Then I can play about with it and tidy it up afterwards. So let me demonstrate to you the Smith 2000. And that was the Smith 2000, 35 gerbil power. Cut that like a treat. Anyhow, what we have now, we have 4 pieces. These will do for our outer edge, which I just made, and it will leave us a little bit too thick, and then I can tidy it up afterwards. Gives you a little bit of wiggle room, and remember, we will wiggle. And then we have these pieces here. These will be the trim for the inside edge. They may not stay that dimension, all depends, but that's for later. And if I need to, I'll break out the Smith 2000 and whiz it along. Right, I'm going to have a look at fixing these edges on. Or perhaps I should cut the inside edge. Well, I don't know. Whatever clip comes next is what I've decided to do. Now the amount that I have to trim from the hardboard to get to the same level as the ply is really small. It's barely anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a go with my trim router. Now because of the grain direction, all that sort of stuff, I've got to be very careful about it. I'm a bit snappy, breaky. Don't want that, so I'm going to have a slow speed on the motor and don't push it. I just go gently, and I reckon it'll be alright. Yeah, I know I don't reckon anything. I've got no idea until it happens, do I? Let's see what happens. That works out okay. Felt a little dicey in one place, sort of here, which is still good. It's okay. Now obviously I can't get right into the corners because of the ball, but I'll tidy that up with a chisel and a bit of sandpaper. Right, I'm going to make my way gingerly around the inside of this lot, do the other 3 edges. We might be okay. This might be alright. The Smith 2035 hamster power table saw, available at all rubbish shops. That's the inside done with alternating corners. Of course, loads of tidying up to be done, but hey, that's for later. Next is the outside pieces with these pieces. But clamps are in the way at the minute. I'll let that sort of sticky up a little bit before I take the clamps off again. Wiggle, wiggle, then put them back again. Yeah, remember the wiggle. Well, that's the inside and outside edges roughly on. There's plenty of tidy up to be done, but they're on, which is good. Glue can dry, we can get on with the next thing when it is dry. But then look at this. I think I'm going to be having a bit of fun putting that casualty back in there. Remember the casualty from when I cut the outside edges? Yeah, might try and make this little bit fit. I mean, wow, gotta be all origami with that, haven't I? Anyway, we've got to leave this to dry and come back to it. You must be really fed up on my waffling by now. I've been going on and on and on. God, don't release a video for about 6 months and you slam this bloody monstrosity on people. It's a behemoth. No, it's just a frame really, but come on man, count the bits of wood. Just count them. Count them. How many are there? Count them. Well, no, don't count them. You'd be stupid too. We don't need that sort of information. You know, you can't have too much information really, because if information isn't of any use to you, it's just baggage, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, let glue dry. That's that minor casualty sorted out. There's more glue to dry now. On my fingers. So, bit of sanding required, huh? Well, fair bit in some places, little bit in others, but sanding required. I'm first going to give it a good old blast with this aggressive little bugger. It's what is it? 40 grit. Yeah, that'll take the skin off. And then once I've given it a blast with that, we can see what's left, can't we? What's left? I'm not going to wreck it. I'm going to smooth it. Well, on that little bit there, belt sander saved the day, as they normally do. These are absolute freaks. Do not use them if you want to be delicate. It's like a chisel's not good enough. This is the Kango. Cardinal sin when you're using this is to stay in one spot. It will dig its way through your work surface. It will just wreck stuff. But it's absolutely great. Absolutely great. When you need to get shit shifted, it shifts the shit. And then you can be a bit more delicate with one of these boys. Lighter. One of these boys too. And I've got another one. Ah, yeah. Don't forget, good old palm sander. Hey. Right, that's not the end of the sanding, because as you can see, we have a couple of crevices. Ooh, don't we all? And these crevices need filling. Jesus, it went south really bad, didn't it? My crevices! Anyway, I have some cracks. Oh, here we go again. I have some voids. Yeah, a void, that'll do. A void. We'll use void, and they need filling somehow. Now I have a plan, because of the overall hue of this. I have some bronze powder, bronze pigment powder, and I have a little bit of epoxy left, but I don't know how old it is. So do I risk that, or do I mix the bronze powder with PVA glue and splurge it in? These gaps are quite thin, quite small. There's not many of them, and as some of you may know, man, epoxy can be a pain in the arse. It just can be an intolerable little thing sometimes. For small bits like this, I'm inclined to make a paste. PVA glue, like PVA is wood glue, with some pigment in it mixed in. I could also mix some of this sawdust in. I'm thinking now, yeah. As the woodpecker said, in bag puss. Right, let's make a paste. So that's its makeup done. Filled in all the, I'm going to stay away from crevices and cracks and all that sort of thing. We filled in some voids. And this unopened packet of jigsaw blades turned out to be the best spatula in the world. Really, really good. And it's still an unopened packet of jigsaw blades. Diverse. Anyway, looks all a bit muddy at the minute, but that doesn't matter because once this is all dry, we're going to attack it with the sanders again. And then after that, we've got to think about finishing. And after that, we've got to get a mounting board for the pictures. And after that, we have to paint it or colour it some way. And after that, we have to mount the photos to it. And after that, we have to cut out a piece of perspex to fit in the glass. Not glass, it's perspex, but to fit where the glass will go. And after that, we have to mount the photographs into the frame. And after that, we have to find a backing board to hold it all together and fix it all in. And after that, well, it's a presentable as a present then, isn't it? And after that, wrap it up in wrapping paper. And after that, Chan opens it and hopefully likes it. And after that, I have to go to a house and fix it on the wall. And after that, nothing. It just stays there and gets looked at. Aye. After that, anyway, once again, we have to let the glue dry. That's just a quick coat of oil, after sandy sand. This coat, it's going on top of end grain, remember? So this thick coat I've just put on, by tomorrow won't even exist. It'll have been sucked up and absorbed into the very body of the wood. It'll just vanish. It's gone. It's gone, gone, gone. So I'll just have to put quick sand tomorrow, and another coat, and then another coat, and then another coat. That's so satisfying. Who doesn't like frothy fingers? Ooh. That's a couple of coats down. It's alright, isn't it? Yeah. Right, now I've got to do some boards. 2 boards needed. One for the mounting board that the photos are going to be attached to, and the backing board that's going to hold it all together. So let's cut them out. Fucking hell. So that's the backing board cut and the mounting board cut. The mounting board is, it's only thin stuff, which made it tricky to cut by hand because it was flopping and 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 snagging on the blade. Well, you saw, didn't you? So finish it off with a bit of electricity. And then I wasn't able to do the backing board in one piece because I just haven't got anything of that size. But 2 pieces will be fine. It's going to hold it in. 2 pieces will be fine. It'll do the same job. Okay, so whilst we're getting to cutting, let's cut some perspex. Yeah. That was lucky. just fits. Just fits. Wow. So like, mark it up and chop it. Just arranging the photos. I've got these are used as spacers. Obviously they're not going to, I'll move them when they're done. And I am waiting for one more. I couldn't decide which one, but I've decided now. So that's good. That's a good thing. So I need to take each one, bit of, where is it? 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 Where have I put the thing? Where have I put the thing? Oh, I can't find it. Here it is, here it is. Double-sided sticking tape on the back of each one. Stick, 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 using the spacer so they're roughly all in alignment. Then I will fix the backing board in properly, and then, well, obviously before I fix the backing board in, I've got to put the perspex in. Perspex first. Get it out, Jeff, man. Come on. You've got to get your words out, man. Get your ideas into the world. Right, let's get some sticky. Has them stuck down. I just need to sort out that one there, which I'm going to do now. So the next time we are in this room, I'm going to be sticking down, fitted in the perspex, sticking in the backboard in, and put the backboard on that, then it's solid, and then it's ready to go. Well, then I've got to wrap it, because today is Saturday, Christmas Day is, I think, Wednesday. So, but I've got work as well, so that takes your time, doesn't it? But then, once it's ready to go, I've got to wrap it. Of course, we've got to wrap it, make a pressy. Yeah. So, that last one was sorted out and stuck on. So the next thing is to put that perspex in. First I've got to take off the protective film, flip it over, and most importantly give it a good wipe, because with that black painted background, any speck of dust will show up. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean it, and I'm going to clean it, and it's going to look spick and span. And then I'm going to fix it all in, put it all up. I'll put it on the wall even, and then 2 weeks later, they'll notice that one little speck of dust. Just one little speck of dust, and they'll be staring at me for years. But I know it's going to happen, so I'm not going to be worried about it. You know, why be worried about the inevitable? And so it is done. Got in that final photograph stuck in, fixed in the perspex, fixed in the backing board, fixed in everything, fixed in the wiring. Well, what I'm hanging it with is I found a big bundle of aluminium wire yonks ago, and that twisted together plenty strong. So that is the hanging mechanism. Very, very complicated modern age hanging mechanism. Yeah, right, Jeff. Works a treat. Now let this thing wrapped, because today is Christmas Eve. Last minute, it certainly is. So I'm going to get it wrapped, put it under the Christmas tree, and then she'll open it. If you are watching this channel, if you get this far, because it's a long old trek, this one, happy Christmas to you. Tons and tons of love. Bye.